Welcome to From Center Ice. My name is Courtney, and now we are entering the gauntlet phase of the season. The Blackhawks finished their 2-game series in Detroit. They split it 1-1 with the Detroit Red Wings, and now they are about to play the Nashville Predators for 3 straight games starting tonight. So before we look ahead at that Nashville series, let's go back to Saturday night and talk about Game 2 against the Wings. You know I had some questions for this team. Question number 1. Will the Blackhawks have any sense of urgency? Oh my gosh, it was so nice to put that Thursday night game to the side and just move into the weekend with a brand new slate. The Hawks came out Saturday night and they looked so much better. Now, when I say that, I don't mean that the game was wide open and the Hawks were just getting chances left and right and they were scoring on every single shot and they were moving their feet all over the ice. No, there was a hint of that and a little bit of that in spurts throughout the game, but overall they just had a consistent effort, and that consistent effort led to keeping the Detroit Red Wings off of the score sheet. And there was also the amazing goaltending from Malcolm Subban that helped keep the Red Wings off of the score sheet. That's right, the Blackhawks won 4-0. That's Malcolm Subban's second shutout of the season. You gotta feel good for the guy. He's just one of those goaltenders that you feel really good for when they win. He seems like a nice guy from all of the interviews and everything we've seen with him. Now, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting Subban, but I have met our other 2 goaltenders, Lonkinen and Colin Delia, of course. Perks of being a Rockford Ice Hogs season ticket holder. But it seems like the 3 guys that we have in net, well, 2, 3 if they ever give Delia another chance, which they probably won't to end the season since these are very important games. Anywho, the 3 guys that we have at the goaltending position here in Chicago are all really nice guys that you want to root for, and it seems like they have a good thing going chemistry-wise between them as well. That's always fun to see, especially as somebody who really likes goaltenders. Anyway, back to the question. The Blackhawks did have urgency. They came out with pace. They were moving their feet. They were causing turnovers. They were getting more shots to the net. They did suffer a little bit from the overpassing at times, but that's just something that has plagued this team for a long time. It's never going to be completely eradicated, but as long as they can cut down on that and get shots to the net in the process and get goals off of those shots, then I guess it's okay here and there. The shot totals by period weren't super flattering for the Hawks. In the first period, they had 5 shots to Detroit's 10. They did come out of the first period with the 1-0 lead again, which was really kind of terrifying looking at the score, looking at the shot discrepancies, and then comparing it to Thursday night's game where it was basically the same thing. I was really hoping that we were not going to have a repeat performance. Thankfully, we did not. In the second period, they bumped it up a little bit. They had 8 shots to Detroit's 10, once again. And then in the third period, we finally see the Blackhawks outshoot the Red Wings. It was 14-9, which it was really quite interesting to see that the third period was when the Hawks outshot them since they had the 2-0 lead going into the third period. But you also like to see that because it means that they didn't just lay down, they didn't just try to go into a defensive shell and keep the Wings off of the board. They were still pushing offense themselves. And they got 2 more goals in the third period, one being an empty netter, but it still counts. Question number 2. Can we see Brandon Hagel back with Dominik Kubalik? This is a pairing that you know I like. This is a pairing that has worked in the past, but no, we did not see Hagel and Kubalik together on Saturday night. What we did see was Brandon Hagel picking up his 10th assist of the season, and maybe one of the more painful ones that he's ever gonna get. Since I've mentioned that, let's go through the goals that were scored. 19 minutes and 39 seconds into the first period, yes, with the period severely winding down, Patrick Kane, he potted his 15th goal of the season off of a beautiful feed from Vinny Hinostroza. It started with Vinny forcing the turnover. He and Patrick were in on a basically 2-on-1. Vinny opened up, Mark Stahl just slid the puck through his legs like he was going 5-hole on the goaltender, got it over to Patrick Kane, who had the wide open net. Kane is not going to miss that. It was a beautiful goal to end the first period. And it's just one of those heartbreakers for the other team, not for us. That was definitely not a heartbreaker for the Hawks. Oh, but for Detroit, That's rough. You're out shooting the team 10-5. You almost make it out of that period with the game scoreless. But here comes Patrick Kane. I've been hard on the guy lately, I know, but he's just an elite hockey player and you can never take that away from him. And he likes to break hearts on the ice. So they took that 1-0 lead into the intermission, again just like they did on Thursday, so we were all sweating a little bit, the heart rate started bouncing. And then 12 minutes and 40 seconds into the second period, Alex DeBrincat scored on his hometown team. And this, my friends, was the one that Brandon Hagel assisted on. In the last video, I called him an elite hard worker, but can we please talk about his stomach of steel that is an elite assist giver? First, there was Andrew Shaw with the shin pads. Now, there's Brandon Hagel with his gut. Connor Murphy took the shot. It nailed Hagel right in center mass. That could not have felt very good. He fell to the ice, but so did the puck, and the puck fell to the ice right to Alex DeBrincat, who had another wide open net on Jonathan Bernier. That had to have left a bruise. I think it left a bruise on everybody watching the game. That was the only goal scored in the second period, so they took the 2-0 lead into the second intermission. There was one period to play left in Detroit, and the Hawks really needed to grab these 2 points and run. And that is what they did. 1 minute and 16 seconds into the third period, Wyatt Kalynuk with his second NHL goal, and my goodness, that was another beauty. Patrick Kane with the puck, nifty little pass to Vinny Hinostroza. Hinostroza with just another beautiful assist, passes it with just the utmost accuracy to Kalynuk, and once again, a wide open net for the Blackhawks. At some point, do you just kind of feel bad for Detroit when so many goals are going in like that? No, you don't. The Hawks need these points more than they do. Moving on. And then, of course, there was the empty net goal that came 15 minutes and 27 seconds into the third period. That one was credited to Pius Suter. He likes scoring on Detroit. It doesn't matter if there's a goaltender in the net or not. That gave the Blackhawks the 4-0 lead, and that is how the game ended. Like I said, they won 4-0. Malcolm Subban with his second shutout of the season, and it wasn't an easy one. He had to come up with some fantastic stops throughout the game. Sometimes when the team switches it up and throws in the backup netminder, you wonder if it's going to be the correct choice, and on this Saturday night in Detroit, it was the right choice. That's not to say that Lankinen would have lost the game by any means, but Malcolm Subban had himself a game. Hand claps to Malcolm. All in all, it was just a much better effort from the Hawks. They did play kind of a reserved game. Like I had mentioned previously, it wasn't a wide open game. They seemed a bit more cautious with the puck. They kind of went back to basics in this game, and that's what worked for them, and I would like to see them do that going forward. Of course, it's not going to work every game, but maybe coming out to start games like that and then seeing how the flow of the game goes, maybe opening it up a little more if you're getting the chances. And hey, if going back to basic hockey is what works for them, gets all of the guys in the game at the jump, then what's the harm in it? We've seen many games this year where the team just has not showed up to play. It's like they didn't know what time puck drop was. So if they go out there and say, hey, we're playing a hockey game tonight, let's just go north-south pucks to the net, get pucks out of the defensive zone, get them in deep to the offensive zone, and do whatever you can to get that puck to the net. Do not overpass it, just shoot the puck, shoot first mentality. Good things will likely happen. That sounds very good in theory, but we know that that is not what is going to happen with this team, who is full of guys who like to try to make the fancy play, but it is what it is at this point. They played a great game on Saturday. The defense looked good. The forwards were helping them out. They were getting chances of their own. You can't say anything else about that game than it was just a good, solid game from the Hawks. They came into it, they knew that they really needed those 2 points, especially since they have the next 3 against the Predators. And they took them, and they took them convincingly, again, 4-0. But now we must put that game behind us and look forward to tonight's game in Nashville. Here are my questions. Question 1, can the Blackhawks weather the first period? Much like going back to the basics, the Hawks are just going to have to take this game in chunks at a time, and that first chunk is the first period. Just get out of it, maybe with a lead or scoreless. Either of those would be fine. You don't want them to fall behind early, but they have to weather the storm. They have not won in Nashville yet this year. They haven't beat the Predators at all this year, no matter where they've played. And both of these teams are duking it out for that final playoff spot. The Hawks have gone 1-1 in their last 2. The Predators have lost 2 straight to Carolina. So the Preds are going to be a very hungry team coming out on home ice against the team that they they are battling for that 4th spot, the team that they are currently ahead of in the standings. They're going to want to put this one away early. So the Hawks just need to come out ready to play, ready to get through that first period, hopefully get an early lead, and go from there. Question 2. Will the special teams units have a strong game for Chicago? On Saturday night, the Blackhawks went 0 for 2 on the power play. What else is new? I really don't understand how they were doing so well to start the season, where their power play was just unstoppable, and now we have this. It did look a little bit better though in the last game. They were moving the puck around more. They weren't moving their feet as much as they probably should have, but they were getting some good puck movement. So maybe they can build off of that going into tonight's game, maybe pot a goal or 2 on the power play. That certainly would be nice. But what we also saw on Saturday was a very efficient penalty kill. They had to kill off a 2-minute minor for high sticking. They had to kill off some 5-on-3 time, and they did it, and they looked good. I was very impressed with how our penalty kill was playing. I had to go back and rewatch this game because the Blackhawks played at the same time as the Ice Hogs did, and I was paying more attention to that one. So for the second game in a row, I had to go rewatch it later, but I was able to pay more attention to it because I knew what the outcome was, so I could pay attention to the little things more than just being very stressed out over whether they were going to score or not. And the penalty kill looked solid, and especially Riley Stillman. Credit where credit is due. He is one of the guys who came over in one of the trades with the Florida Panthers, the one that sent Lucas Wallmark and Lucas Carlson down to the Panthers for Stillman, Borgstrom, Connolly, and I think a 7th round pick. Did we get a pick in that one? Whatever, doesn't matter. Riley Stillman has looked very good. He hasn't looked out of place at all. He's a hard-hitting defenseman. He had his stick in lanes. He was breaking up plays. I've liked his game. I can see him sticking with the Hawks if he continues to make a good impression. So good on him, and he is going to have to be good against the Predators. Good luck, kid. Going back to the initial question about the special teams units, both of them are going to have to do a good job. Even if the power play does not score, they cannot give up a shorthanded goal. They cannot give up a goal to the guy coming out of the penalty box like they did on Thursday. No, we don't forget that, Blackhawks. They have to gain some momentum from having the man advantage again. Even if they don't score, they need to look good while not scoring, I guess, and they need to come off of that with more energy than they went into it with, rather than it just completely killing their game and then everything falls apart, the wheels come off, the bus goes off a cliff, and so stressful. And the penalty kill can't allow the Preds to score when they have a power play. All of these are very tall tasks. I know I am asking a lot, but we are entering the gauntlet. As I said, 3 straight against the Predators, 3 straight against the team they are chasing. These points are very important, and if the Blackhawks want to make the playoffs, they need to take as many points as they can from this series without giving Nashville any. And then after this, they have to play Tampa and the Panthers and Carolina and Dallas. So, I can ask for a lot at this point because they're going to need a lot. Question 3. Can the Blackhawks finally beat the Nashville Predators? And there you have it, folks. The most important question of the night, right? Again, they haven't beat them so far this year. This would be a great time to get that first win. And look, it took the Ice Hogs 6 tries to finally beat the Chicago Wolves, but they did it, and now they've beat them in 2 straight games. So hey, maybe the same thing is coming for the Hawks. Nashville is one of the affiliates for the Chicago Wolves this year until the Milwaukee Admirals come back next season. So maybe it's just all one big ball of karma or something. Who knows? We shall see. So those are my 3 questions for tonight's game. Do you have any questions for this team? Any observations from the last game, the season as a whole? And once again, do you think the Blackhawks are going to make the playoffs? Let me know all of that in the comments down below. If you want to hear more from me or from Center Ice, you can head on over to FromCenterIce.com. It has all the links to every little thing. I tried to make it as easy as possible for y'all to find things. If you're just more of a social media person, you can follow us on all of the platforms. Those links are all in the description down below. All of that being said, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Let's hope beyond hope for a Blackhawks win tonight, and I will catch y'all after this one. Bye, guys. Thank you all for watching. Please hit that subscribe button to catch more From Center Ice content. If you could, hit the like button on this video, maybe share it with a friend or two, and while you're here, check out the podcast playlist and catch up on some old episodes. We will catch y'all next time. Bye!